are right into the swing of things. Oh, I don't think you could have asked for a better opener than that. Astralis with the T side beginning on Inferno. Their map pick and Team Liquid looking to hit the ground running here. It's a lot of utility for either side, and already we've got this triple banana set up for Team Liquid early on. Look at Device waiting patiently, and he's going to best Stewie in that head-to-head.
It doesn't bait them in. So calculated, so cold. Astralis never wavering, never running the gun a little bit too early. The reflash back, but Device is patiently waiting. Astralis have been doing this all event, giving up this top B position, never getting caught by these aggressive CT plays. And that's a read from Liquid that could go the wrong way. They send a rotate round. Naf doubles out. Astralis don't move a muscle. They haven't all round since getting that opening kill. Grim with a gamble, he's alone on B. He does have that kit, but in a retake like this, it could be pretty difficult. Astralis have all the utility for a full execute. We know their B plays with the smokes or the mollies can be tantalizing. And so can Grim put a stop to it? Can Grim do anything as Astralis set up towards B?
Oh, the pressure is going to be on for old mate Grim. Those smokes raining in. And out here in international waters where Grim, not quite as proven as the rest of his team, well, he will just have to concede this bomb site for now. Bit of damage through the smoke, but it really is nothing to write home about here for Liquid. This pistol now kind of hanging in the balance, and it's Astralis who are looking good. Liquid already falling off with Naf. He's going back to check the flank, and yeah, grabbing that USP on his little journey. Swing from Elige, doesn't find anything, and now, oh, it's looking like an Astralis pistol. It's looking like they should have this locked in. There will be a bit of a response from Twist, but the time's already too far gone, right? They still have enough, but you would need all these kills so damn quickly. And look, Astralis just aren't giving you anything. They swing it together. And already we get kind of looking as to the minds of Astralis, right? The incredibly genius Danes that lie over on this Astralis squad. They're all just tucked in. No one's even giving up a fight. And then all at once, man, you go from getting nothing to getting everything if you're those two players in CT.
Yeah, now spamming the smoke. That's why he doubles back for a second. He uses a lot of his ammo just spraying the smoke with the USP. We know you can run out of ammo with that in a pistol. So swapping back and going for a retake that was never meant to be. You hope Liquid have studied the demos. You hope they know what they're up against, because that is a classic Astralis T-side banana play that they've been doing all event, playing so safe, forcing you to doubt yourself and rotate. Liquid do exactly that, and one man left in the B-bomb site couldn't put a stop to it. Buy it back in for Liquid. They don't wait around. This Deagle on Elige could be devastating, but nothing given up down middle. Takes a shot, backs out. We've got 3 smokes left up on Liquid. They've already dropped one at the top of Banana, trying to stall this B play. That looks like it's coming in once again. There's even an early rotate in the form of Naf. Moving back over, Astralis smoke long, denying Elige that information in the top of middle. He could go through it. He's looking interested. Trying to find a gap on the edge, nothing to be seen. Astralis still with plenty of smokes and Molotovs for this play. They are walking into this stack here for Liquid, but Naf is cut out in spawn. Another flashback in, not a shot is fired, not a man moves. And Liquid have no reason to believe that Astralis have 5 players here, but that's the reality we live in. Smoke down at the 50-second mark. Astralis still have time to stall.
Yeah, they're not sweating yet, but they do have this triple setup to contest with. Stewie lining up a flashbang for the rest of his team just to try and blindside Astralis. And that's the thing. For these Danes, while they're more than familiar with the kind of style that Nitro used to call, Stewie could be a bit of a new challenge altogether. There's that swing from Stewie 2K, and it's left in this 4-on-4. Now the stack at B is getting dismantled. Stewie running through the smoke. It's actually Naf rather, helped out by Elige on this wrap with the Deagle. And he was one of the players who stepped up yesterday. Well, he's trying to get this pistol round off to a rip-roaring beginning, and it's left to Zip, back turn to the man in the pool, and Twist takes his head off. Team Liquid. Oh, they're immediately in with this response, 1-1. And that's just exciting Counter-Strike right there, right? Yeah. Zip even trying to like kind of meet them in the middle, meet them at their own game, rushing through smokes, just hoping for a kill, hoping for something to get given over. It certainly is going to bode well for Liquid if we do get a good start out of guys like Elige.
Yeah.
And as mentioned, Twist is someone else that we need to be keeping an eye on here.
That resmoke at B was perfectly timed, right? Elige had no information on the mid side due to Astralis smoking off long. With the B smoke coming down after that fact, it trades smokes for Elige to play aggressive and come in on that back line. Liquid stacked up, ready, raring to go, and forcing Astralis to a bit of a pistol buy of their own. Zip on the solo AK. He's working his way up mid, but Liquid, the big middle finger that is that re-smoke once again as Astralis look for an opener that won't be presented. Are they going to gamble with Grim once more? They did it on the pistol. It didn't work wonders, but this time Grim has a lot more real estate to play with and for. You can see all the way down B. It's a bit scary when you don't have any util on your solo B playing around like this, right? If Astralis kick up the pace, if they flash you off, you don't know whether you're getting rushed or if they're just regaining this control to keep you there, keep 2 players in B. And at least that's what we have for now. Boost up coming in spawn for Liquid. No more smokes left for Liquid either. They can't stall this much longer. Naf has the Molotov on the A site. It's coming down to Grim and Stewie. SMGs galore. That 1 AK of Zip coming up to try and trade Glaive is going to be leading in with a Tech 9.
Both playing anti-flash, and now they hear the footsteps. The flash is good, but opened up to Grim in CT. He keeps it even. And there are rotations already on their way round for Liquid. This 4-on-4 has given Astralis a bit of a chance, however. Grim doing what he can to keep Team Liquid in this retake, and now they're posted up, right? They're waiting on the outside of this site for the smokes to fade. They're waiting as well for Twist to throw this flash in so they can look to explode into the site on the retake. Now, time is ticking away from them. There's that flash, and it's lights out for the players back inside, but not for this AK at Banana. Twist's doing what he can. It's a nice little double. Oh, and a third at that. Left to Device, down to the 1v1. Naf tapping the bomb, and Device is in with the swing. Astralis with the B site execute, finish off the remainder of Liquid. They instantly claim one back. And now, well, now this game just got very interesting indeed, didn't it? As we're into these 4 spy wars, this back and forth.
Yeah, it's quite the chess match, isn't it, right? Trading rooks for rooks right now, not giving up anything, and Liquid undoubtedly are going to come back in with their own 4 spy. There's no reason you wouldn't in a position like this. They don't really even have the money. As each force goes on, the buys pretty much get worse for Liquid as well on the CT side. They've got 1 M4 and a Liege, pistols elsewhere. A Liege looking to make a play. He loves going for these Halls peaks, and the flash is good to find Zip. Trying to back out as well, takes the long hallway down as Boiler gets mollied, and Dupree jumps up. But nothing to be found with the apartments emptied now by Liquid. Obviously an irretrievable gun. It was only a MAC-10 at that, but that's a huge start for Liquid. Astralis, they've gone for 3 B plays in a row. They look to try and change things up now. Liquid being conditioned, moving a 3rd man over in this 5-on-4. And a double short side setup for Liquid. Got to deal with the devastating Danes.
Double pit setup, and they're just having to wait. Now, this gives a bit of an avenue over towards long for Astralis, and that's scary. Oh, a missed smoke there thrown out from Glaive. Now, there are plenty of others who can look to fill that gap, so it's not the end of the world. But that's given up a bit of the game now. If you're Liquid, you've heard these 2 smokes go in. You know there's at least 2 people here hugging this long corner. And so we see Stewie peeling back round from B, now waiting at Arch side. Astralis going to regroup over here at short, and this is where that double pit setup could be so deadly. Glaive leading the charge, doesn't check the pit, but a few missed shots from Twist, and it's a little bit ugly. Naf now giving up his aim of the game, that he is here, and Glaive getting into the graveyard, but look at Stewie. He's gone out. He's denied the bomb plant. 20 seconds, and time now becomes the concern for Astralis. Stewie trying to beat them with the clock. Naf just looking to buy time from the pit, but he's not able to do so. And so Magis will regain control of this bomb. He's going to get it down just in time. Still a chance for Liquid as they move in on the retake. This rifle still standing, still up, and looking to try and best Glaive in the graveyard, but he's just not giving up anything, and there's the double swing. Grim's put down as well, and Astralis, they're on to 3. They get the conversion. It's a damn good try, right? Stewie barreling past the long player, dropping the bomb. But ultimately, it's that decision from Glaive and Magisk in the 2v2 to wait and swing together onto the short player, Elige with the M4, that ultimately ends up closing that round out for them.
Yeah, if Naf can stay alive a few seconds longer there, that certainly could have been a Liquid round, right? But he puts up so much pressure to at least allow Stewie to get through in the first place. That's an annoying one to lose for Liquid. You know how close it came. You know 10 seconds are left when that plant happened, and Astralis now have forced their hand at the eco. Liquid have to give it up. They have to respect their opponent. I mean, look at who it is on the other side. heavy A setup. B is empty right now. Well, Astralis worked that one out with Liquid having played tucked in many of these rounds prior. Device is on a bit of a mission to figure this one out as he gets flashed on in. He's not going fast, though, and that bomb is still back in spawn. Zip might figure this out the hard way. Molly to burn Liquid back. There's a tick to a Liege, but nothing more. And now Astralis piecing together this round. They've worked it out. B is clear.
This is a free round for Astralis, and they know it. They're very, very happy with how this one's panned out. And even though they know that B site is clear, you'll note that guys like Zip still waiting here in alt mid. Also, having this crossfire set up with Dupree, it's going to be pretty devastating to these pistols. And Astralis, they're trying to kill hunt. Well, they do get punished on Dupree. Zip now giving up his position as well. The rest of Astralis are trying to come back to help out, trying to bail their teammate out of this rather awkward position. And this runs the risk of maybe giving more kills over to Liquid, but it's only Twist left, and they're just circling him. That is domination, man. Yeah, they lose 2, but they're trying to make a bit of a statement. They're trying to get in Liquid's heads. You know, you got to think, right? Like Astralis, every time they've played Liquid prior, they've been very, very used to having outbrain guys like Nitro, but with him, there was at least that familiarity, that kind of respect. In terms of, you know, looking at Astralis versus Liquid, to them, Stewie's pretty unproven in the IGL role. So they're trying to bully him early on. They're trying to show, like, yeah, we know what you're doing. We're one step ahead of you. And they're off to this 4-1 start, but now we got this rifle round coming through for Team Liquid.
Yeah, think about how close that one gun round came for Liquid with a single M4 and a lead, right? That was down to the 2-on-2, so Liquid looking to get off to a hot start here. Nades up B, traded both ways. Device eats one, Stewie gives it up. We've already seen Liquid looking pretty keen to re-flash back into B in some of these rounds and retake that banana control. Pretty common to see those set mollies on car, the smoke at the half wall thrown over from the safety of B. Grim is lining something up of that nature as well, and a re-molly for Stu slows it down yet again. But Astralis, they've got all the time in the world. Happy to wait it out. 2 smokes, 1 Molotov, and an entourage of flashes for this T side. So just enough for a B execute. What that means as well is Liquid, if Astralis need to force Liquid's util and their hand out right here, right now. If they try and throw an execute in and Liquid drop a molly, drop a smoke, then Astralis, they'll have to commit through or wait for the util to fade. Could be quite the problem. They only have 1 smoke left up. Long gets replenished. Naf cuts it off again. And says, if you want mid, you can have it. We believe in our B hold. We believe in our 2-man setup. Although that's not where this one will end. Liquid holding strong with 3 on this A site. Magist looking for a gap in the smoke. Liquid giving nothing over at B. And Astralis set up for what looks like the 30-second execute on A.
And looking at the A site, outside of the 1 flashbang on a Liege, that's all Team Liquid have to try and slow this down. And it's already been thrown into the apartments. That flash gets nothing done for Liquid, so now you're relying on the aim, and the aim alone. There's the support from Naf to bail Twists out, and Naf's putting on a bit of a show. There's no time for Magisk. Astralis, they get swept under the rug by Team Liquid there. Naf makes it look easy with that crossfire between the balcony player and him. They'll put that second round on the board for Liquid, and it's a dominant one at that. So suddenly these concerns of like, yeah, you know, they get this by, maybe a little lackluster in terms of kits, in terms of util. Well, none of that ends up coming back to hurt Liquid. Naf puts on a bit of a shooting gallery, a bit of a masterclass for us all, just barreling through the moto smoke.
Yeah, Naf is a player who's had really good adjustments and reads on rotations in this tournament as well, in the games we've seen from Liquid, right? Not falling for rotating B early there, as he has been in many of these rounds. And in fairness, they have often ended B, but right there and then sticking to his spot and being in the right place to help out Liquid on that crossfire. Saved AK, pistols elsewhere. Astralis already taking a breather. And this one's off to a hot and heavy start, right? Money going both ways. No clear victor in sight. Bit of aggro at B. Stewie. Oh, as the smoke blooms, that's the 1 gun gone. Dupree does have Kevlar. Will that weapon be thrown over to him? They've got to meet him in the middle first. Glaver's picked it up and scampered out of there alive. Stewie's gone even further. Smoke for Liquid. Astralis have no grenades in this round. It's all about the gunfights. It's all about the battle of Dupree trying to regain this banana control. Grim can set Stu up with the flash as well. This has been quite the 1-2 punch for Liquid on this B bomb site. Is it going to be able to hold strong with Stu in such a committed position?
Well, Astralis check it as well, because Grim is trying to bait them in. Grim's trying to give the illusion. By the way, we're not here, but Stewie, he definitely is. Oh, he sends Astralis packing, and Stewie is on for the ace. They're trying to give it to him, but Twist will take it away. A great round, though, a great bait and switch setup down towards the banana. Grim on that jump. That's just that's the bait, right? That's the little cue that you're giving Astralis. Oh, we're playing passive at B. We don't have anyone pushed down. Why would we? Well, look at this. Stewie is completely unexpected. The guns weren't looking at him, and he goes on a tear. So now 3 on the board for Liquid, and this is already a very, very good start, right? Like, it's early days. I don't want to be building anything up where maybe there isn't, but last time we saw Liquid and Astralis play on Inferno was kind of fairly recently, back at that DreamHack Masters winter, and there they managed a 5-round CT side. Well, already, they're well and truly on their way to that. There, it was all thanks to, like, a little late streak later on in the half. Well, here, they've hit the ground running, and that is a necessity for Liquid.
Yeah, something Stewie said in that interview earlier was the fact that, you know, Astralis don't feel like the Astralis that Liquid have played on LAN at those big tournaments. And so Liquid feeling more confident than ever, looking to end the year on a high. There's that retake utility we see coming out from Liquid, trying to regain banana control. They don't push in too heavy-handedly with it, and Astralis are keen to give it up, jumping back through the smoke and conceding this position. Still looking to retake it in an instant. Grim lining the flash. Stewie again tucked in a little off angle. They're not ready for this. He's behind the sandbags. But Glaive can see him. There it is. Poking out. The flash is late. Grim is alone. And Astralis could just commit and take him down at the back of the site.
Yeah, that's exactly what Liquid are worried about. They're already pulling players around. They're freaking out. There's the flash to try and set Grim up, but he peeks a little early. And through the smoke, Magisk actually wipes them out. So Grim is all alone. Finally, there's a bit more supportive utility, but they still best Grim in the head-to-head. He has given Liquid a bit more stock in this retake, a bit of a fighting chance. It's Naf and Twist left on the other side, and that CT smoke having to get replenished by Astralis. There is a bit of a gap in it. Naf will deny the bomb plant as well through the smoke, and now there is a real opportunity for Liquid to somehow pull this back from the brink of defeat. Device with the swing, cannot get it done, and Team Liquid tie us up at 4-4. That is unreal, man. They were going men down throughout that entire thing. Grim puts on that great hold in the back of the site in what was a 3-on-5, if you remember at that point. Naf denying the bomb plant as well. Absolutely huge.
We're seeing stuff from Astralis that we're not used to seeing. Missed smokes. That CT smoke has a huge gap. Not only is Naf wall banging out the planter, but then Twist can come in with another kill to zip as well. So, yeah, those are mistakes for Astralis that will cost them rounds. The little details that have a big impact, and more so for Liquid than not. Grim, hey, he may have peeked into the flash, but he still doubles down and sets Liquid up for a round that pushes Astralis to pistols. It's their pick in the series, one of many. A BO5 with 2 bans, nothing surprising there in the veto. Just walking up short. He's got a lovely little timing here, but there's 4 players for Liquid to play that trade. Luckily, the flash doesn't hit him. That could have been the tag that gives everything away to Liquid. They still got their eyes on the prize. Twist, though, D'd out of the pit by Dupree. Stewie on long on that rotate. Bomb is far back, and Naf dropping the molly. They're going to go right through it. No fear for Astralis, and no reason to be, because Glaive picks up another, and these Deegs are coming to life. A Liege pushing back in. Doesn't see the porch player. Still finding a 1-for-1, and Dupree left in a clutch without the bomb.
Oh, no, but he tries to go for it. He thinks he's safe, and that's where Grim, coming up through the banana, gives that little 1-2 punch in favor of Liquid, gets that trade, denies the bomb pickup, puts 5 on the board, and Dupree's Deagle can't do much when it's beyond the grave. Now that reinvestment coming through, Liquid in the lead, and as mentioned, this is as many CT rounds as they managed to get total last time they faced Astralis. Well, here and now, they are making a bit of a statement.
Yeah. We've had some broken buys on both sides. Now we have the AWP, so cash is starting to build up for Liquid with cleaner and cleaner rounds. That one certainly wasn't, but I think you just take what rounds you can get when you're up against the Danes. Boost up for Stewie. Doing something different every round. Pushing through, playing aggressive on this flank. Tucked at sandbags, flashed in by Grim. Now he's going on the other side of the banana. Astralis taking that top mid control, but again, bomb drop back at mid. will likely be retaking some semblance of B control. Stewie has to smoke that Molotov. Oh no, it doesn't work! It goes in deep and he burns to a crisp. It was bullets or fire, and Stewie couldn't pick which. It's a 5-on-3. Astralis running round behind B. Grim needs something heroic, and jumping through the smoke. Device can trade him, and that's just the round there and then. That is an unfortunate series of events for Stewie, and it's netted Astralis a 5th.
Man, the smoke criminal doing hard time to that Molotov at Banana. That is rough. You really hate to see it. That essentially is what makes the whole round fall apart, right? They deal with him. And it's a nice attempt from Grim to try and bail them out in any meaningful way. You know, he had to go huge. Like, if you're looking at Grim there, really, he needed to kind of get all 3 if Liquid wanted to feel at all comfortable there.
Then.
And with the CT wrap coming in, he knew his fate was sealed. Device is even hunting down these saving players, really trying to punish Team Liquid. Twitch just wants to survive with the AWP, but look all across the map, man. This is Astralis. This is what we talk about. They've loved being very, very relentless in a lot of these games, being really, really punishing, trying to take away everything they can. But Twist will survive. He will live on with this AWP.
It's still a big hunt, though, for Device, right? Because just look at the money of Liquid is pretty poor. They might even be... Yeah, I mean, that smoke is unreal, dude. We know sometimes there are bugs when you drop a smoke on the molly and half the molly will extinguish, but the other half won't. That is just one that you can't control. And what do Liquid want to do with this money? Do they want to fully put it in? Yeah, we got a UMP, a Deeg, double AWP for Stewie. He is miffed by that one. He's going to come in with a big green. Naf molly will bounce back down middle. Not going as deep as he would have liked, but Astralis are up anyway, very fast at that.
We've actually got the double AWP as well, so that's allowed for this 4-man stack over towards 8. In spite of that, though, it's only Twists in the site who can actually offer up resistance. And with him getting toppled... Oh, all right, Criminalise with the UMP utility combo. They might have made this doable after all. This was looking like it could have been just a save right away for Liquid. And now suddenly a 4-on-3, they're enticed, they're interested. They're trying to give Stewie a chance to shine on this AWP. They've boosted him up and over, and he's been given a chance to find this pit player. That's Magis knocked out of the round. Zip and Device. This was looking so good for Astralis, and now we're really relying on this flank from Device to come through, and come through it shall in glory as Device puts up 6 for Astralis. He saves the day. With that wrap, back through the short side, never checked by Liquid. They never saw him. And so he gets away with flat-out murder.
That is unreal as well. 4-on-2 for Liquid. We know those double AWPs can be a bit of a liability, but they make the best of a bad situation. Naf has Zip locked in as well. There's no way Device should be able to get all 4, but the spray, the mow down, and the denial on that defuse. You love to see it. Astralis laughing all the way to the bank. Sonic even shocked that they picked that one up as well. Oh my. I like the pace of that round as well for Astralis, right? They just get to cycle those Moto smokes. They've gone in so early that they still have all their grenades for the post plant. It keeps Liquid out for a good amount of time, and now stuck behind bars are Liquid. No money. Just the pistols at the back of the B bomb site. Boosted is Stewie, waiting for that contact play. Magisk, oh boy, he looks aware, but there's the dink for Stewie. Lovely damage. Magisk getting put down low. They know there's 2 at the back of Dark now. Are they ready for the CT player that might as well run through? You got nothing to lose if you're Naf Fly coming in with a USP. Oh, Glaive turns, and the timing is perfect for Astralis as they clean sweep this anti-eco. Liquid lost in the source. May as well look for exits, but Device offering nothing up.
Yeah, real shame, right? Naf tries to go for that hero play, but the smoke actually hits him and gives away the fact that he's pushing the CT area. That's why Glaive hit that perfect timing on the turnaround. And so it's a flawless round for Astralis. This is already so back and forth. And really, at this point, right, if you're the Danes, you're very, very thankful to Device for him bailing you out of that 2v4 round where he just delivers it all. Because it's had some pretty resounding implications here, what with this eco round that has now extended the lead even further for Astralis. Elige was just hoping to do some economic damage, maybe get out of it with a gun, and he quickly realizes, well, that's not happening, is it? But that was only pistols, right? That was only a small part of this lengthy chapter that is this Inferno game. Right now, Twist leading the way, and that's very, very promising. He's been having a bit of a rough time recently, both over in NA, but here at this event, having like a kind of below-average performance for himself. He's been key. You think about the position he plays as well over towards this A side, right up on the balcony, down towards pit. He's a very, very influential player, and so with him stepping up, that at least bodes well in repelling these A takes. But this B site's been getting a pretty harsh Astralis treatment.
Yeah, the patience is painful for Liquid to deal with. Stewie tries to make a bit of a move and gets double naded down to 50. We do have a lot of utility for Liquid in this round, so again, the aim of the game is just stalling Astralis as long as they can, using that clock to their advantage. Dupree taking apartments, often been hit on his lonesome. Glaive getting that long smoke that has been missing from time to time in multiple Astralis games, but it will be all fine and dandy for now. Retake utility at B, Liquid throwing in the Molotov. Device is patient with his orb, the first of this game as well. In a gun round. Liquid don't have their own. Minute on the clock, and you can see how aware of the control that Astralis have as well. You know, Glaive is just standing in the mid-choke with nades out. Astralis know where Liquid are, what they're doing, and likely to expect a triple A setup still, as they've barely put any pressure on B since that early utility. Hall's lurk smoke coming out. Is Zip going to be able to drop pit? And most importantly, can Twist put a stop to it?
Well, that molly complicates things for Twist. He smokes it off, but now they know he's here, and he is trapped in a cage of his own making, trying to get out. Does get ahead of this smoke, and is given a bit more room to fight than Astralis could be ready for. There's one for Twist, and the wrap from Elige is well-timed and well-played. He's in with a double. Oh, make it a third, and he might end this whole thing. It's him and Twist coming together in a blaze of glory. 6 on the board for Liquid. And these A bomb site takes from Astralis, while they've often looked good out of the gate, it has been like individuals stepping up, putting a stop to it time and time again. Yeah. And this time with no individual on Astralis to bail them out either.
Yeah, Liquid have been so good at like stalling in these mid rounds when they know Astralis are committing, right? Twist isn't giving away those fights. He's not swinging wide. And Elige, we've seen him have huge impact on his aggro plays. Even in the second round of this map, coming in, pushing mid off of that long smoke, flanking B and winning it there. He does it again, wrapping long to short, and even more aggression for Liquid is the port of Cool, push down mid for 3 players with the AWP supporting. Majisk is holding, and Elige won't find the drop on him. Liquid throw in the towel. They give mid away to Astralis with that pick going the wrong way. It was a nice try. I like the change of pace for Liquid, right? No longer at the bane of Astralis' executes. They try and take early kills. Not going to be gifted anything, though. And now Astralis, these are the rounds that you know, while the numbers maybe haven't been great for them in this event, you would hope that they can weather the storm. Plenty of util, plenty of time, and the man advantage with Liquid split 2-2. Naf long AWP. And Magic selling B. Will the bomb go back and join him? It's a double CT setup for Liquid. That will at least speed up the rotations if they want to give this a go on A, and that certainly seems like the play for Astralis. More smokes in, plenty of time to get up into the site. They're going to try and wrap the long side. They force Naf off with Yorp. Due to them being down an A player, he's gone through that smoke again, and Device catches him coming right back. B is open for the taking. Stewie's in spawn. Are Astralis ready for it? They're doubling back in middle. They're not going to wrap B with Majisk. They're going to take short instead, where only Twist sits.
Oh, the flash is brutal, leaves him blind. The spray, while it is good for one, that's all he can muster. And it falls to Stewie. Now, he has bypassed this player wrapping CT. Oh. They don't know he's here. They don't know that he's in the site. Dupree needs to win this. And indeed he will, just about, but that becomes so important, essentially, for Stewie there. He's 1v2, and if he deals with that, he knows the other players are already wrapping B. He heard them, for crying out loud. He dodged capture back in CT moments ago. That almost gets scary for Astralis, and this punishing style of Counter-Strike that we're seeing out of them, where they are trying to take everything away, very, very nearly could have come back to punish them.
They were all hunting, man. Dupree spams the smoke off the bomb. I think that, you know, makes Stewie, like, jump scared. If he doesn't make a shot there, if he tries to hide behind the box, there's a world where he can stick that defuse later on, but not really realistic, right? And he doesn't know that all of Astralis are hunting him down in what was expected to be a B play. That was quite the take, quite the fake for Astralis, feigning a mid to B, doubling back on the short side, and trading effectively as they often do. It's 8-6. Astralis looking to run away with the T-side half. It's a better showing from Liquid than last time, but it's still Astralis writing the story. They get a pick early up at A. Push through the smoke was a Liege, and now Astralis back up for what should be a B execute with this long lurk player. Naf, no AWP, caught out in the flash, and Twistbind as well. It's a perfect flash banger from Glaive, and Device even catches Grim reaggressing. It looked like an A play, and now it will be. Astralis had the bomb and banana, but with all those kills going their way, there's only Stu to stop him, and he can't do much, finding Device, but the A site is lost.
Yeah, this is looking like that 9-6 solidified, right? And still, he's kind of having to come to terms with that now during this this closing time, or the bomb's ticking away. They're even hunting him, and they'll find him. It's the clash of the IGLs there to round out that half. Astralis in the lead, but Team Liquid hot on their heels. And this first map, it's a bit of a trailblazer.
I don't think in the beginning of my career that I was really interested in being an IGL, honestly. I think it more just came to me because I was playing in team where we had no IGLs. So eventually it just made sense to someone as like a leader type outside the game as well to step up and be the guy calling the shots. But yeah, I think I kind of fell in love with it as I started working with it, because I think it's a fun aspect and it gives me a lot of opportunities to work on stuff outside the game, not only my individual level. So yeah, it didn't really it wasn't something I started out as, but it was something I kind of fell in love with.
I think joining Liquid, I just had that natural leadership. I always helped Nick mid-round call, or just give him ideas, and Nick had a Liege and a Dren. But even before in Cloud9, I kind of already helped mid-game, but we kind of started losing the core players like Jordan, Shroud, and we didn't really have an in-game leader, and the North American region doesn't have many talents. They don't really play the IGL role, so I decided to take it on Cloud9, and then on Liquid, Nitro decided to leave, and I know Elige, Twist, and Naf, they're not the type to IGL, so someone has to do it, and I'm just kind of filling it in and feeling it out right now.
Yeah, I think an IGL sacrifices some stuff in the sense that I think there's a lot more work for me than the rest of my teammates, for example. Always when we're doing anti-strat and all that, I always have to be very involved with it, so I know exactly how to react in all the different situations and all that. And at the same time, usually if we need new pistols or new rounds or new strats, then I'm also the guy sitting and doing that outside of practice. But for me personally, I enjoy it, so it's not really like a hassle for me. But I do think there's a lot of extra work for an IGL that a lot of other people might not see. And I think also as an IGL, you have to be good to push yourself to still like keep up your individual level. Because it's very easy when you're maybe watching 2 or 3 demos a day and then be like, I don't like my job now, but you also need to be able to still play good individually. So after all of that, then you need to go on the server and still practice your own skill. So I think there's a lot of work to being an IGL that I think a lot of other people might not see.
It's a best of 5 grand final featuring Astralis and Team Liquid. We are one half through. We are into the second half of Inferno. And right now, the Danes are leading the way. But do not fret, North America, because Team Liquid, they've put on a good showing. They've got 6 to their name, and they're trying to keep this one competitive. We've seen a lot of bright moments here at Team Liquid. They're looking primed. They're looking warmed up. And for a team that's occasionally been plagued with these slow starts, with this ability to get off on the wrong foot, that might prove to be more important than ever with them fielding a competitive first half.
Yeah, triple B for Astralis. Liquid did the same, and it lost them the pick. Are we going to see the same aggression from Astralis? Not without measure, not without utility. Grenades going down, and the deep smoke keeps Liquid out, but they are longing for that A site instead. dupreeh, here's the feet, pittering and pattering at the top of middle. And Liquid already have to deal with a three-man hold as Astralis have sent Zip right back on the long side. And this, you know, when this execute comes in, they can fast flank. Astralis can come in on a big mid-wrap. Liquid need kills, and they need them now. They need to overrun this A site.
Oh, they don't spot the balcony player. And so as a result, dupreeh and Magisk just get away with an absolute slaughter. Oh, no one's even looking. Oh. Magisk is raining death down from above, and he can't believe it. He was never checked. So many players looking that way. And I think you see the pressure that Liquid are under there, right? You see, like, the tunnel vision onto the crosshair. Anyone that's just outside of that kind of being bypassed, kind of being ignored, and that gives Magisk a lot more room. They don't even know where they're getting shot from. Just crunch time for Astralis, laying waste to Team Liquid in that first pistol.
Yeah, the vibes are good in the Astralis camp, right? That's something you can say for sure. They know this grand final is within reach. They want to end the year potentially stealing back that #1 spot. Man, there was a time in 2020 when they fell out of the top 10. We wondered how long it would take them to get back. Only a couple of months, apparently. Still within grasp. MP5 SD for device. Seeing that more and more. Liquid just giving it up, giving a big eco in, right? If it was a bomb plant on the pistol, maybe they go for the AK Deagles. But for now, just taking things slow and steady, getting their gun rounds in as soon as they can, means that this round will likely be nothing but a wash. Liquid looking to get cleaned up by this AUG. dupreeh running it short side. We've seen more and more AUGs for Astralis, especially on train against Na'Vi yesterday. Zip, dupreeh, these players are running that weapon up on that CT side. Device mows down a couple, and it's nice and clean and easy for Astralis. 11-6, all things going as they should. But now, can Liquid turn the tide?
Oh, it's an attempt at the bonus round here for Astralis. They're really trying to push the boat out. They're really trying to push their luck. They bring only SMGs alongside that FAMAS and AUG. Meanwhile, for Liquid, they've got pretty much everything they could need. Stewie even taking the hit for the rest of his team. Playing SMG in this round in favor of all this extra utility. And he's going to dump it all into top banana. That keeps Astralis at bay. They were playing triple B to try and contest this banana control, to try and get a hold of it early on, like what we've seen from them in that pistol and the follow-up anti-eco at that. Instead, they're forced to be a bit more measured. Stewie demanding respect from banana.
Yeah, so many rounds Liquid will flash back in and regain top B. Astralis are doing the same on this bonus round, an aggressive maneuver that Liquid won't be putting a stop to, similarly reserved as Astralis were. Boost up in spawn. And you'll notice dupreeh's already begun to rotate right back. They've read into this one well. Liquid, oh no, they're walking into a four-man setup. The question is, will Astralis get there in time? There's still that long smoke down. Liquid are walking up short with only two in the site. I say only, it's Magisk and Device.
Oh, a device hidden in that smoke up on the balcony now. Magisk looking to make a bit of a stand. And oh, how's he gotten away with that? There's a bit of a response coming through from Elysian Naf. That is incredible from Magisk. The flick back into the apartments, and just like that, he has at least given Zip and Glaive with these SMGs a lot more to play with in this round. Would have been a done deal if not for Magisk's heroics. And so now Astralis still looking to make this retake happen. Low on time, but with the kit on Zip, that certainly helps out. They look to separate these fights, and they jump shot Elige out of it. Naf, only good for one of them. And the defuse going to come through with seconds to spare. It's Zip, the last man standing, and he is the man with that kit as well. The retake coming in, and that's going to be heartbreaking for Team Liquid. That is essentially all undone on the back of just two men for Astralis. You throw everything at them. Wow. You put it all against them down in the pit. And yet still Magisk is able to get away with far more than he ever should have been allowed.
That's insulting from Zip as well. They jump shot onto a Legion in the pit. Naf tries to line him up, but Astralis trade as they often can. And that's the bonus round 1 as well. That's not only huge money made for Astralis, but another step forward to that favored 16. They are getting closer and closer, and Liquid haven't even really fielded a great T-side buy. Their first buy round, we had an SMG still in play. Now it's Galils and AKs. Boost up top, the AWP is ready, and Device picks out Stewie from the start. Backing up into B, Glaive does trade positions and look for some aggro, but he's also swapped Molotovs, denying Liquid Banana. Flashed in for fights, doesn't see Naf, the smoke is still down. Astralis have 3 towards B, they're expecting Liquid to commit with his man disadvantage. Twist is looking for lurking kills in the apartments, Magisk is offering nothing up. Tucked behind the wall, and re-smoking the hall as well. 4 on A. Astralis is so mobile, man. Look at them just running as a pack back and forth between the bomb sites. Elige does get dinked and avoids the nade on the back out, but they'll be going right back in, double dipping a Liquid as they look lusciously towards A.
And Astralis have got the read, and they've had a lot of these reads. They're looking mean. Flash in for Grim, but it's a little bit ugly. Oh, that is just brutal. Glaive and Zipnix over towards Long. Zip just spamming him through the smoke. It's like you're being traced. What can you even do there if you're Grim? 25 seconds, and I think Twist and Naf know at this point that this one's all said and done. This is signed and sealed, delivered by Astralis. And so they're just saving, they're bowing out, they're giving the respect over, they're giving over a 13th. And while that first half might have been competitive, and we've had a couple of close rounds here, Astralis are really coming into their own over on this CT half.
Yeah, it's exciting to see these Orgs carried forward as well, right? Astralis were a team that really abused that Krieg meta at points as well when it was so powerful on the T side. No longer the same case. The Org took a bit of a backseat. We see players like Simple, for example, start to pick it up, especially on maps like CT Nuke. Karrigan's been running that gun on train for forever, it feels like. And now Astralis are wielding those weapons, even on Inferno as well. And it comes into great effect. Zip with that long spam, catches Grim. You know, they hear the tags, the swing from, I think it was Glaive on the archway, and Astralis just clean up this half. 4 in a row. Liquid yet to dance with the Danes in their T half. And the buys aren't going to get any better either, right? Especially not when you're being forced to save in situations like this. You're not getting that loss bonus. You also don't want to full force around this. You have to save some money, but Naf and Twist are going to be poor moving forward. A bomb plant in this round is almost a requirement, and we've not had Liquid in many of those situations yet.
Something that is so wild is coming into this, right? For these two teams, two of the more quiet folks that aren't often fitting into that category were Magisk for Astralis and Twists for Team Liquid. Well, they're both top performing right now, including Magisk being on 160 ADR, I think that just said then. They've both been saving it for this grand final.
Ouch.
But then he loses all of our respect in one knife. So, you know, what's that about? Device?
Oh.
It's in that shot, but it's the nades punishing Naf. Twist trying to get out through long, and that molly forces him to commit. Zip with this Org back in library is just gross. What can you even do to that if you're Team Liquid? And the worst thing is, whenever they have tried to challenge him, at least in Liquid's experience, there's normally been a player in Arch as well, just to complicate matters.
Oh, they're going back. They know Device was AWPing B at the start as well. He was left alone, now joined, and the question on that rotate drawn by Glaive, who will just stick with the 2-2 trust in Magisk in the pit. Or, sorry, rather Dupree. Magisk was dead early to Stewie's Deagle. And some aggression. Re-aggro for Dupree. Does he commit with it? Liquid spread out on this default. Stewie's showing some presence towards Banana, keeping this AWP honed in. Now joining his teammates back on A. 3-on-2, somewhat of a favorable fight for Liquid. They still have that AK left on Grim as well. The problem is the lack of utility. Dupree just tucked down in the pit, unwavering, unmoving. Stewie needs a Deeg shot, and he does deck him. Zip finds a Liege on long. He's got to hold strong. Oh, he's so low. Stewie with a Deagle, can't finish the job. Missed shots. AK picked up, and the time is ticking away. Zip is stalling like a madman, giving nothing to Stewie 2K, and this is embarrassing as Astralis make Liquid look like fools. It's Zipnix with 4 and 14 found. Dear, oh dear. even when Liquid come in with this buy against 14. Harry, keep in mind, they've still not had what I would call is a proper T-side buy round in this map. The saves don't help. The lack of plants, they have the AWP here as well, but 2 players on 3,400. It's tough times for Liquid Economy.
And that might not have been like a clutch round in the sense that Zip is like, you know, 1vx, but essentially within the context of that A-bomb site, he is. And he buys all that time to the point where even if he died there onto Stewie, the rotations had already arrived. Looking real crisp right now. Bringing back some of that old Zipniks that we know and love. And so Liquid, it all hinges on this. You know, they worked hard to put up a good scoreline in that first half, but this second half, they found nothing so far. Not a single round. And even in the ones where it looks like they're finally going to get it, we've had heroes step up for Astralis. Liquid, what's the game plan? Because this town, this map ain't big enough for the both of them.
Stewie's on that entry AWP right now. He's looking for openers. He's looking for picks, but re-smokes down for Astralis and nothing given over. With a nade from Zip down Banana plus Device's peak, we're going to have this AWPing head-to-head battle, and it's actually a tag for Stewie. Warmed up off of those Deeg shots, looking for a little more, but Astralis can see the position, and we know how fast Glaive can be on this rotate. If Astralis think the Liquid are committing, they don't, and they know not to make that mistake. Glaive holding on for an arch side wrap as Astralis double down in the pit. Liquid 30 seconds to get this execute into A.
There's the gap in this, matches with the one-way, peeking through it, and Molly is going to force him to take these fights, but he just stands in it. He's fighting to the death, and Molly does burn out. There's still another man down in the pit. That's where Stewie and Twist collapse into the site, and in doing so, this should be them at least staying afloat, at least keeping this game alive that much longer. They need a pretty clean round here. And so Astralis backing off, showing the respect. That's something that Liquid are going to be very, very happy about. In a lot of these rounds, Astralis have looked to be purposefully punishing Team Liquid, trying to take away as much as they can.
Yeah, I mean, they've won 2-on-4s before in this game already. So, yeah, Liquid take what they can get. And that's a huge round win, not just from the fact that it's their first T-side round, but also they finally get away with guns, 4 of which as well as the AWP. So money is now good for Liquid. A lifeline gifted over by Astralis.
And that's the thing, right? You think about Astralis and the teams they faced on the run-up to this, right? I'm really looking at Vitality and Na'Vi, and we saw more of that punishing style there, right? And in those teams, the AWP, well, it matters so much. So that money matters so much, and I would argue even more than it does in this Liquid squad. And the fact that they're keeping up with that, I think that's one of the reasons why we constantly see, and it feels like Liquid have a long, long way to go. They've never had that cash. As mentioned, they've never really had that proper buy. It's always come with some kind of caveat. Well, now they finally got one. They've got that 7th round. They've denied 15 to Astralis. But this journey to a comeback is still beginning for Liquid with a long way left to go.
Silent boost up apps. Stewie taking the AWP into apartments. Now that is bold. Looking for the short pick, but Astralis have been so passive in not giving away these early A entries. I say that, but just falls off the balcony. Stewie knocks him down a peg, and now Liquid. An opener, maybe another. A missed shot for Stewie. The AWP does tag him down. Device firing off on this A site. Liquid know that they have him trapped in default. They're going to double wrap back towards this CT spawn, looking to take over B. Zip getting run down with the AUG. The nade is good, but Naf with a trade. And this bomb is still waiting back in middle. Naf does another entry towards that B site, and that should surely open things up for Liquid. All they know about is Device. They've lost Dupree, and that's why they're questioning this commitment into B, but with Device feeding the beast of Stewie on his second, now they know B is likely open.
I mean, yeah, they've got to know it, right? They've seen both these players over towards A. That was always the intention, was to take that bomb B, or at least keep that option open, right? It was on the back of Grim down at Banana the entire time. They know Dupree was here. They know he's pretty cheeky. They know he might like to get out of this round with that AWP. And so we see just 2 players homed in on this position. They are next door to one another. And Twist and Stu might not be the nicest of neighbors here. Twist is even hunting down Dupree, and the timing just off for him. He gets off the angle as Twist swings into it. So 8 on the board for Liquid with that B-Rap. Naf coming alive really helps save that round with the double into CT. And I think it's so much more than just that, right? It's the fact that, you know, they find Magisk over on the balcony. Well, actually, Astralis were running a double balk setup. And so if there was ever a moment that that bomb tried to kind of turn its way back towards the A site and Liquid maybe commit to that push, it would have all gone south. So they're actually very, very much helped out by the fact that Dupree swings into the apartments and Device gives up that fight at short side. Because suddenly, you know, they've pieced it all together. They know where both the players are.
Yeah, and despite Naf getting a pick along as well, no one wraps CT with that play. Liquid pull the brakes and take a second, so Glaive tries to move in anticipation of it being an A play. That just offers up another kill to Naf, and Long locked open 2B picks. And Liquid find an 8th. Okay, you got our attention, Liquid. It's a broken bye for Astralis. Pistols are out. And Liquid, where we often look back historically and laugh at the choke, laugh at the, you know, the fact that they can't close games, Liquid in this event have been very good at pulling things back after bad first halves, after, you know, close halves that aren't necessarily favoring them, and still longing out the game. They've done it v Heroic, they've done it v Big. Now they got to do it versus the best. Twist with a pickup in apartments, but just getting spammed out by that org. Dupree doesn't know. Leech is up in apartments, and Dupree with a knife out, caught by the spam. Oh, it's close. One more, there it is. That time's a charm for a Liege.
Liquid are still leaning over here towards B, though, even with those 2 A kills presenting themselves. They may be looking at this one going, well, if they've pushed on A, it might be stacked, right? They might have been going for these early info prods. And so now Liquid leaning back into this B site. That does leave them at the mercy of these 3 Astralis players. As mentioned, only pistols. They haven't seen the man on the fountain. He's hidden. So gets away with 1 on the USP, but at this point, you've seen both players left once again at B. And Naf just farms those kills, pads those stats. All right, now they've got our attention. Because, you know, for the longest while, Liquid had yet to accomplish anything on this T side, even in favorable situations, even in rounds where, you know, they get 2 openers and things are looking good. But then suddenly, a guy like Magisk steps up on this Astralis side. Well, finally, they're getting results. They're getting something for all this hard graft.
Do Liquid get double digits, or is this where Astralis can just sweep them under the rug? The AWP is out on Device. Stewie, oh, Molly, yeah, he goes back. He doesn't want to commit up B into what could be unknown territory. It's now taken by Astralis with another deep Molotov of their own. They won't hang around for long. Good grenades, man. As soon as the molly fades and HE's chucked in, it tags up Stewie. Flick won't connect. Glaive is still fighting. Another HE going even deeper, and the smoke hits Stewie that slows him down on his approach, but he still hits a Flick shot. T-side AWP, and making it look easy. A lot of these openers provided by Stewie on the AWP. We often look to Naf to be donning that weapon here for Liquid, with the exception of maps like Dust, maps like Mirage, but T-side Inferno. All right, Stu, what more have you got? And all posted on his position, and a minute on the clock.
It's a standoff. Who breaks the silence first? It's surely got to be Stewie, right? Because he's going to have to swing into this. Now, maybe with a flash, maybe with something to give him that edge. That's how he can look to find the opener, because in this swing, Device is favored hands down. Ooh. He'll back off for a moment. Twist even going up through top mid. Trying to deny these rotations, but they've got to get into B. That's what it's all hinging on now. Glaive flashing himself for the wide swing, but he's not good for anything as Stewie provides the second opener to Team Liquid. This bomb now going down, and this is where Twist can look to get activated because Astralis is saving, and Twist is already here. He planned for success in this round, right? He planned to take these guns away or cut off the rotations, and he might just get away with it after all.
Beautiful stuff. Yeah, that really is planning for success. Liquid, full of confidence right now, full of bravado. Stewie swapping out off the AWP on that banana take as well. Those devices there, who does pick up Grim early, but Liquid trade it effectively and take down everyone in B. Magisk in the pit, 4 HP. No nades for Liquid to dunk him down. Can they kill these players at the end of the round as Magisk stalls as long as he possibly can? Dupree has the cover, and Liquid at a certain point, you don't want to fully send into this exit. Going to get away with their own guns instead as they build rounds, they build economy, and they build confidence back up against Astralis on this CT side's map pick. I don't know how Stewie gets away with that opener as well, right? He's walking through the smoke, the Zip is peeking, he gets hit by the smoke, which slows him down, and he still somehow finds that opener. Liquid relying on him for the picks, and it's not with the rifles that he's getting it done. 14-10. Eco for Astralis, 2 save guns and nothing more.
It's always nice when Stewie is looking good, right? Like, you think about the opening game of the tournament for Liquid when they went toe-to-toe with Heroic, the other Danes that were here, and they bodied them. And that was largely on the back of, at least it felt like, Stewie looking so good in some of these opening duels. Whenever you get those like reflections of old Stu shining through, where he is the man for the job on the entry, not only does it just help Liquid out massively because it gives that much more room over to these other stars in the team, and it creates all this space, but I think it reflects in the cooling as well, right? There's a lot more planning for success here from Liquid as opposed to kind of leaning into giving all this respect to your opponent.
They don't want to go through that, and baited by the fact that Astralis have had a lot of double long setups in the CT side, right, with Glavon, Archway, and Zip in the library. Instead it's a triple B, and Liquid, they see that smoke, they cool the bluff. They go back into the stack, although unknowingly at that. 3 here. And both of the rifles for Astralis poised perfectly for this take. The flashes are good. Zip is hiding. Dupree drops the smoke, but there's no Molotov down. And Magist with a spray only gets 1. The guns are gone. It's Zip still standing tall with the Deagle, finds an M4, and just needs to stay alive off the back of this smoke dropped by Dupree. A Liege dead through it. And while Twist trades, it's come at a cost. 20 seconds. The plant needs to happen, and the flanks are so fast.
Yeah, Device has just missed that first timing, but it's this bomb plant that scares me. It's this bomb plant that's scary. Stewie with the turnaround will deal with Device. And so it's Glaive left up all alone. 5-7 out. Bomb working against him, and a 1v2 to try and navigate. Stewie not missing a beat with the read on the game, the read on the flank, and then besting Glaive in the head-to-head. I think you got to give so much credit to Zip, man, in so many of these rounds, right? He is the only man left in these bomb sites, and it feels like not only is he always good for like 2 kills in those situations, but it's the amount of time that he wastes. It's how uncomfortable he makes Team Liquid. And yet still they rise to the occasion. They put that 11th up, and now they are closing the distance. Everyone on Team Liquid starting to believe, starting to get back into this, and you can see the frustration there on Dupree's face.
Can Device put a stop to it? It's a quad A setup for Astralis out of spawn. They got a heavy mid-control. They're boosting Dupree. The double setup with Magisk swinging off of his contact. Stewie boosted again. He died last time Device was holding this position, but instead backed up on long with only Zip in the back of the B-bomb site, joined by Glaive pretty shortly. Astralis have been very good at switching things up, right? Not necessarily the same players in the same positions every round, not necessarily what you'd expect for Liquid when you're looking at the kill feed. You're thinking, oh, I killed the long player, killed the B player, but Astralis still sneaking in different spots. Stewie, here's that shot. Doubles Porch, Liege sees Magisk, who does take the kill. Dupree, not even needed to do a thing, is still here, ready and waiting. Astralis can give it up. Dupree bounds out as they take the advantage.
Yeah, if you're Astralis, you know it's only a matter of time till the Molotovs start to fly in, so that utility complements it. And so they back out, they take that man advantage. As mentioned by Yanko earlier on, we know Astralis is this team that loves to play the numbers game, right? That was how they exploded into view all those years ago. And so for Liquid, it's back to a desperate B play, an attempt to hold on, to keep this comeback roaring to life. The flashes are in. It's Glaive and Zip putting on a bit of a show, but Stewie once again is in with the openers, and Twist is actually looking to extend this into a 2-on-2, was trying to peek over that CT smoke. Now that it's faded, he's had to drop down to oranges. He's out here on a bit of a limb all alone. Stewie is the man to try and reclaim. Out through CT goes Device, and it's all left on to Twist. 1 versus 3. He fell down here earlier, and now he's got to put on a bit of a show, but he can't. Device, curtains closed, and Astralis are on to 15. Map point solidified. It takes them a little while to get there, but eventually they do break Liquid down.
Yeah, that was a very nice try for Liquid, right? You can see Stewie misses one opportunity on that crossing player, tries to flash back in, misses another. Device eventually posts and wins that battle, but if Stewie hits it, and then they back out without a trade. Liquid are in a great position, so yeah, you can understand why you'd want to be going for those kind of fights. Even so, 15 for Astralis. It's luckily Liquid built up quite the bank on this T side, as a full investment will come right back through with the AWP as well, and that's been one of the weapons that has really got Liquid to this scoreline. Can it keep them in the map? Can it drag them to overtime? Triple B for Astralis. Device waiting on a very tight angle, trying to peek off the back of the molly fade. Grim throwing another one in, and Device must respect it as to not burn. Grim still eats damage. Flashed up through the Molotov. Device should have heard this. The flash is good. Glaive checks, and yeah, Grim is caught fully blinded. Stewie hits Device and takes a leg in the process. Still standing tall, but the M4 should finish the job. And Glaive with the mow down for Astralis. He perishes. No ace today. It's Twist alone, and this should be a lost round, a lost map. Astralis running rampant, running wild on Inferno. It may have not been as clean